First off, Terry Foster came in here first in Detroit to report that the Lions very A+++ interested in Will Anderson to the tune of they are willing to move up in the draft to do it. Also, Ian Rappaport just reported the Detroit Lions' Jameson Williams has been suspended by the NFL 6 games for a violation of the NFL gambling policy. C.J. Moore, Quintez Cephas of the Lions were given 1-year bans. They were consequently released by the Lions, so that doesn't matter, and that's how quickly this stuff moves.
And you know why they were released? Because they can't play.
Because they can't play. And that's like, Terry, everyone in here, and someone in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Parker, says, what is Neal arguing, LOL? Parker, I'm arguing the fact that it doesn't matter. Because it doesn't. And everyone's acting like it does. And look, you guys want to get caught up in the feelings, and I saw that too. This is why character issues matter and stuff like that. Because guess what? In Week 7, when he has 7 catches for $180 and 2 touchdowns, we're going to be talking about character issues? Are we, Terry?
We will not. Only if he has 2 drops and
11 yards.
11 yards for catches.
And that's fair. Then we can have that discussion. I'm leaning towards no, though.
Okay, can I sing a little song?
Yeah.
Do you know who else this time wanted to run out of town? Because he's a bust? Herman Moore. One of the best receivers in Lions history. Because when he came in, he couldn't see. He was blind as a bat. He dropped a couple passes, dropped a touchdown, and they said, get his ass out of here. The Lions were like, okay, whatever, kids. They kept him, and Herman Moore, model citizen, great receiver, second best receiver after Calvin Johnson.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Cheech says, so getting suspended means you're a bust? FOH. And we all know what that means. So Flannel, Week 7. He goes for 7, 180, and 2 touchdowns. Are you still concerned?
Absolutely not, but he's got to do it first. That's the thing. You're assuming 7 receptions for 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. Obviously, that would be phenomenal. My thing is, he hasn't proven that he can play on a consistent level in the NFL yet. I get it. He was hurt. They sort of moved him along slowly in the last part of the year. But when you look at Brad Holmes' 2022 draft class, Aiden Hutchinson produced, led all rookies in sacks. James Houston, 8 sacks in 7 games. Kirby Joseph forced 6 turnovers, including 3 interceptions of Aaron Rodgers. And Malcolm Rodriguez was on the PFF all-rookie team as a 6th-round pick. Jameson Williams is still a bit of an unknown. I believe that he will be good. But the fact that he was suspended for the first 6 games, I think that matters, especially if the offense doesn't look as smooth as it did last season. I know that they didn't really need him last year to still have a great offense, but what if this year it doesn't look so good? They are 2-4, they are 3-3. I might be looking at Jameson Williams, depending on how the season plays out, as you got yourself suspended, you better go fix it. That's the thing. When he produces, I'll be all on board. We just haven't seen it yet.
Well, I think we've seen it in his touch ratio to results ratio.
All 2 of them. That's all I say is all 2
of
them.
Well, whose fault is that?
There's a variety of faults.
Oh, okay, so it's not all JMO's fault.
It's not all JMO's fault. A quarterback has to get him the ball. I think he was misused, and obviously they were moving him along very, very slowly because they didn't necessarily need him to have a top 5 offense. I was willing to give him a pass, and I was willing to say that he's going to be great, given that he produces and plays a full season this year. Well, a full season is already off the table. But if he does produce starting Week 7, I will absolutely be all back on board.
Will you also say, Neal, you were right?
I will say, Neal, you were right.
Because WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Soft Jones, who him and I battle from time to time, though, we're in lockstep with this. He goes, I want a list of everyone calling JMO a bust. Are we going to keep receipts, Terry?
We're keeping receipts. Please write them down.
Got a text, too, from my good friend Terminal Dennis, who has lore on the show. He's actually in an airplane watching the show right now, and he and I are going to battle the next time we talk because he says character issues, exactly what I was afraid of, Charles Rogers II. And no, Dennis, no, because this guy can play. We've seen it. He's electric when he touches the ball. And don't get it twisted. Don't forget the fact, too, Terry, that when he got the football, he is the first Detroit Lions player that I had seen since Barry Sanders, where when he got the football, you do this in your chair. You know what I'm saying? It's exciting. Like you're excited to see what he's going to do. You know it's going to be electric. That doesn't go away. Remember, you guys, the punishment's handed down. It's 6 games. You know what? I want to be in all your fantasy football leagues then, because obviously none of you are going to draft Jameson Williams, right? I can just take him in the 10th round.
I mean, I might take him in a later round.
Oh yeah, see Sam Flannel, Terry, I'm breaking him down.
Here's what we forget: wide receivers are divas. Wide receivers have issues. Now we were used to Calvin Johnson, who was not well, and Calvin became that too after he retired. But for the most part, when he played, he was just a guy that came out, caught the ball, blocked for his running backs and receivers. Wide receivers have this issue that you got to deal with. The good ones do.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm not afraid. I'm a little frightened by this, but I say let the man do a suspension and then bring him back and let's see what happens then. Not a bust.
Steve Wild says character matters. Does character matter, Terry?
Not all the time. Guys,
and when doesn't it matter, Terry?
when a guy can play. In this is a town that, you know who didn't have a character? Ndamukong Suh. People in Detroit loved him. It was okay, he would stomp people on the arms, kick them in the face or whatever, because he could play. So character didn't matter then. Correct?
You know, hey, Terry, you know where I stand with
That
it,
was
man.
our guy.
You know where I stand. I'm consistent about it. I don't care what they do. Just produce.
Yeah,
so when
sure.
Game 7 comes around, produce.
All right, let me educate the people. Character matters to a certain point. But on a football team, you need 8 or 9 assholes. You need guys who are maybe a little bit short on character, a little bit gruff, a little bit angry, a little bit mean. Because when the ball kicks off on Sunday, you're killing other guys. So you need some guys who you are afraid of on your roster. One of the problems that the Lions had, we're talking about the culture and the character now, they had choir boys in their dressing room. And then the guys who weren't choir boys, they got rid of, and they go elsewhere and become all-pro players. I'm talking about Slay and Diggs. So let's not get caught up in all this character bullshit all the time. Yes, it's cute. Yes, that's what the Lions are talking about, culture and everything, but it always doesn't apply.
See, and this is what I'm talking about and what I'm arguing about right now. And obviously, we got the explosive listenership and viewership going on right now. So if this is your first time tapping into Big D Energy, appreciate it here on Woodward Sports. Go subscribe to the podcast page, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you get your podcast. Click subscribe and get in there. That way you can watch and listen to the show on your terms. Quisakadash says, wide receiver just became a real possibility at 18. And Sam Flannel, this is what I'm battling against. No, it doesn't. It's 6 games. He's not gone forever. You are not altering your entire draft strategy because a wide receiver is out for 6 games. That's an overreaction.
No, you're not gonna alter your whole draft strategy, but you might think twice if, say, a Jackson Smith and Jigba falls, or in my case, I like Quentin Johnson a lot. I don't know if I would draft him at 18. And to me, Neal, and I don't agree with all of the whole character issues thing. To me, that's not what the problem is with this. The problem is inavailability. When your issues, whatever they may be, we still don't know the full story, get you suspended for 6 games, that matters to me a little bit. And I would say in this case, a lot. Like you said, though, Neal, if he does go out and produce in week 7, week 8, week 9, going on for the rest of the year, and can have a productive career after that, maybe even a great career, I will, and I think we will all forget that this all happened. I'm just saying that it hasn't happened yet. We need to see him on the field. And I think I am okay to at least be disappointed. Maybe even a little bit in him, but just disappointed.
He's entitled to that. Don't laugh at him. He's entitled to that.
Are you disappointed in me, Dad?
I'm a little disappointed that you're giving it a complete pass, for sure.
It's done. Like it's handed down. It's 6 games.
It's 6 games that he will not be in.
So all right, let me ask you this then. Say the Cardinals are going to unload DeAndre Hopkins. You don't want it. You want no part of him, right? Because of, the substance abuse violations, the illegal substance use. Like you want no part of him, right? Because it's bad character.
No. It's not about character. It's about will he be available for this season. It's not about.
No, you don't want that though. Like, nobody wants bad character. You know what? If I'm throwing the ball up in the corner of the end zone, I want DeAndre Hopkins. He's probably going to come down with it, so I'm cool with it.
Oh, and DeAndre Hopkins, the difference between him and Jameson Williams is DeAndre Hopkins has already put together a Hall of Fame career.
No. This is Jameson Williams exclusive. I want because I want to see if you're consistent. You don't want DeAndre Hopkins. Like, if you could get him for a 6th-round pick, you don't want him here, right? Because he had a 6-game suspension before.
Past tense. I want
and in
people
week
who are
7,
available.
Jameson Williams will have had a 6-game suspension.
Okay, and I will say this. The Lions, at least for Jameson Williams' sake, they better start off the season strong. Their offense better keep humming, because if the Lions feel the absence of Jameson Williams, all of the chatter around this town is they're going to turn on J-Mo really quick until or unless he produces at a high level. I think he will. But just imagine if this offense next year, I'm not saying it will happen, but just imagine if it starts off the season outside the top 10 in scoring. I think it's right to have some questions of, damn, Jameson, why'd you do that?
Sure.
Why'd you get yourself suspended?
You know what, though? But I don't. Like, it's been laid down already.
It's been laid down.
6-game suspension. Obviously, you did it. They're not just, they're not just out here flippantly suspending you for 6 games. You did it. That's a penalty. Your payment's over.
It's more than a third of the season.
Okay.
If that's how you want to look at it. More than a third of the year. It's not 2 games. It's not 4 games. It is a 6-game suspension.
So you won't be drafting him in fantasy football then at all?
I mean, I might in my later rounds.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think he will be good. We just need to see it first. I think that he will be good when he gets on the field. But it still doesn't mean that I have no right to be upset that he got suspended for the first 6 games. There's nuance to this.
Terry,
I have questions.
Killer Kev says it's not about character. It's about availability.
Yes, that's what I said.
I'm getting a lot of character vibes to this, though, people's criticism.
That's true, but he will be available week 7 through 17. We assume he'll be available in 2024. We'll assume he'll be available for the playoffs.
Week 7,
Correct?
man.
He has time to make up for it. And I think he will, but he owes it to his team to go out and be the star that we know that he can be.
And that's fair, but he's talented.
He's very talented, ultra talented.
So I'm willing to give it a pass. Yes, I am.
And I'm not willing to give it a complete
Would you
pass.
give Tom Kennedy a pass?
Absolutely.
Should they have cut Quintez Cephas?
Yeah, because he can't play. He's never shown he can play.
Oh, so that's different. As Smokey would say, oh, that's different.
I mean, talent does outweigh everything, and I understand that. My thing is talent.
I just wanted to hear you say it.
Okay, fair. I just need to see production and availability. Talent is not even a question with Jameson Williams. But production and availability
Well, why do you think talent's not a question?
Because he's, I mean, you've seen it. You saw it in college.
You saw it?
Yeah, in college.
Oh, but you never saw it in the pros?
2 times. And then that one that got called back, that flea flicker, that was obviously phenomenal. I wish my heart broke when that was called back, by the way, because I rooted for him so hard. But
if you knew then what you know now, you wouldn't, because it's a bad character.
Nope, I'm not a character thing. It's nothing to do with character for me. It's all about availability.
I'm just trying to keep it consistent around here. Sports Marketing Agency, they spread awareness about mental health.